to you from Orlando at Regal Cinemas, Point Orlando. What? Hey guys, we just finished our screening of Mandy. Woo! What a ride that was. Well, we are going to bring you some live feedback from our wonderful fans who all attended our screening tonight and have some swag to show everybody. Swag! Woo! Swag! So I'm going to go ahead and lead the Q&A. You guys hold on just a second. Hey guys, we're going to go from this side to this side. I'd love a rapid fire first impression.
First impressions.
Rock and roll as a horror film.
Fever dream.
Definitely a trip experience.
Hallucinatory and rad.
Trippy.
Yeah, sort of like a really long, awesome Black Sabbath music video.
I love it.
It was a psychedelic trip into the underworld.
Woo!
Dreamlike.
A really long LSD dream.
Yeah, that's good.
I love it. So we're going to talk a little about it. Okay, so leading with that, what you just said, how many people really like the movie hands up?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. It's badass.
It was perfect for what it was, yeah.
Okay.
Best movie of the year.
Was
One of them.
anybody on the mediocre?
I think just people that left already. Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly,
You've got the biggest cheerleaders right here.
it's
Yeah.
interesting because out of the entire movie screening, hey guys, only 2 people had a slightly, hey, maybe it could have been different, and only one was like, nah, this was like for me.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Actually, as odds go, that's pretty cool, right? It's like a 95%. We had about 32 people there. So let's lead from this side is, what from your point of view was the standout, either the acting or a moment or an experience from the film?
Nicolas Cage was really good. I thought he did really awesome performance as a crazy person who was trying to get revenge for his wife.
The bathroom scene.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
I liked it when Nick Cage had the massive guy on top of him and he slashed his throat and there was blood just blasting him in the face.
He just laughs.
Yeah, it was,
He's
it was just so over the top and crazy. I loved it. I think that was the coke getting into his blood.
Yeah. Oh, that scene too was great.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Chops fall off.
Nicolas Cage, without drugs in his system, is already kind of too much to handle. And
Yeah.
him
Give him
filled
LSD
with
and
coke,
Coke
LSD,
and-
and
yeah.
whatever was in that
Piece
gray
of broken
bottle.
glass.
Oh, and a giant cheap bottle
Yeah.
of vodka, yeah. So.
Yeah, that was.
So standout moment was.
I definitely would have to say the bathroom scene again, personally. It's just, I feel like the director just said, like, go crazy. Like, be yourself, you know? For
That was a good catapult, too, to the rest of the film.
Great point.
Yeah.
Great catch, Molly, really.
I'm a sucker for chainsaw fights, man.
All right.
And you had a giant chainsaw, man. That was crazy.
Okay,
I think one of the hardest things as an actor
come a little closer to us.
Yeah, there we go.
I think one of
You guys come a
the
little
craziest
closer to
things
us. Go on.
is Nick Cage just going crazy. I don't really think you as an actor can really film that perfectly, and I think he's back. He's back doing what he's
I
doing.
love it. Yeah.
Something that stood out, just the rapid fire like lighting itself, and like the score itself was just so fucking melodic.
In your face, yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if we're allowed to swear.
Like,
Sorry, but just absolutely
Mandy.
hardcore
I guess it's
and
okay.
like
It really put you in that mood.
yeah, it hits you deeply.
They're gonna love all this, just so you guys know. Okay.
Also, the style. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. One thing that stood out for me is not only Nick Cage actually utilizing his craziness for like a good way instead of just being like an ironic joke that Nick Cage has become on the internet. It's also surprisingly good fighting choreography, especially the scene with the weird biker Cenobite guys. Like it was surprisingly well choreographed, well shot.
Definitely a Hellraiser influence.
Yeah.
Very much so. I do you want to leave the next question?
One more thing. I'm
Well-
sorry to go with what you
Yes,
said.
go ahead.
I haven't seen lighting and something like that since Pulp Fiction, really. With the whole briefcase and the whole everything like that.
Lewis is shaking his head in agreement. Okay.
My one little quick soundbite is for those at home who are going to see Mandy and all. Here's your soundbite. It's like Stanley Kubrick had sex with Zack Snyder and made a film baby. That's how I feel on the director influence. Do you see any of that in the film?
I see a lot of roughing in there too.
And Quentin Tarantino.
So,
Like
Yeah.
visually,
Yeah.
the
Oh
ultra
gosh, okay, a lot of directing conversations. Go ahead, and then you.
I was actually going to say, like, out of everything else, it reminded me a lot of Dario Argento and a lot of his, like, vivid neon look, and especially the gore sound effects. It, like, a lot of Argento stuff went into this deep fantasy more than anything else. And that's what I got from it, was, like, this dark, vivid, lucid fantasy.
He's inviting you into his nightmare.
Right,
That's kind of like
yeah.
what this is.
Right. Do you remember the conversation we had in there about the LSD?
Yeah.
And why we felt it? Anyone want to comment on that? What we were
Like
saying?
going on his point, it honestly reminds me like this is like an American version or interpretation of Suspiria, where the film runs a lot on dream logic, where it's more about the emotion and the visceralness rather than just a point A to point B logical plot. It's meant to feel like a drug trip.
Which was the comment that we had with the filmmaker. Not that it was a bad one, but that's exactly what he and I just discussed.
We got to experience LSD without any of the side effects.
Yeah.
Even before like actual drugs were in the movie, like even like before
Oh,
LSD
yeah.
became a thing, the whole thing felt really
It's from
surreal.
frame one.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So
Yeah, go ahead.
oh no, I was saying just the style that he shot the movie with really leverages the format, being a story told on film. That's not something you can really convey with like a book or some other kind of medium. That is something specifically to cinema that you can convey those kind of emotions without even saying a word. So you had like, when he was like in this rapturous state with his, with his woman, it was like these blue colors, warm colors that felt serene, it felt safe. And then once the shit hit the fan, red, blood, red, yeah, and it was just crazy.
I mean, even so, because, like, Nicolas Cage's character, his name was Red.
Yeah,
yeah,
is
I
funny
didn't know
enough.
that. Did they say that till the credits? I didn't
Not
catch
till
it.
the
If they
credits.
did. Yeah.
Not till the credits.
Okay.
So can I
Yeah.
ask you, Richard, you may want to speak to this. What do you think about this, the decision to actually have such poignant moments of silence?
As far as moments of silence, that works a lot in film. At times it did feel like it's dragging, but why I said Stanley Kubrick and all is because think of Shining, the way the music starts out, that very slow car drive, same way as what I was seeing with that, with the music influences. Most significant scene happens in a bathroom with him freaking out. You have a clear transition after that moment where this film's going. Other things of Kubrick is just the drug influences, a lot of the sexual influences, all that. For Zack Snyder, why I said that is because of the darkness, the over-the-top violence. And if you ever watch The Watchmen, really super extended cut, even they kept the animated sequences, which is the animation style is very much like Heavy Metal, the comic.
for sure.
And a lot of the animation sequences used in this film was that same kind of influence.
So, why I call to the attention to silence, because it is the running plot line. So there's two running plot lines that one is the silence. Oh, it's actually three. The second is the color, and the third is sound. So how do you feel about the use of music, which, by the way, is extremely critical to this film, very critical. And the composer, by the way, Johansson, you guys saw in the memoriam. So it's a huge thing for us that we have access to be able to get that soundtrack, and do him the honor, because it was an incredible soundtrack. Anyone want to speak about sound?
I want to jump in
I
on
know
the
you
music.
did. I knew you were gonna
Johannes,
do it.
if you don't know Johannes' work, Arrival, anything that is that style, that's him. And he is so appreciated, and he, hopefully, this is my hope, he's going to be working on the new Dune project. So if you could imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, there was an memoriam, so I'm not sure.
So there were times in the music, I was wondering, did he ever work on Blade Runner? Because it sounded like that too. Okay.
I was good on him.
So did you want to talk about I want to say
Actually,
music, but
I want to bring
this.
this up real quick. The WTF. There's lots of WTF scenes in this film. But let's go from the transition of scene. So let's go by a transitional beat, which is I guess we spoiled
No
some
spoiling.
already, but
No spoiling. I'm
crap hits the fan,
You guys
and then all of a sudden, Cheddar Goblin commercial.
Cheddar Goblin. That was
Yep.
great.
Okay. What? So the Cheddar Goblin is again very purposeful. When you guys get to the Q&A, I know that you will get the answer to that. I'm sorry we didn't have it tonight. So much so that it's part of the swag bag. When you get on the merch
I was going to
page,
say, is there a
you're-
plushie?
Yeah, it's part of the swag bag. So when you guys get up there, you'll choose.
Well,
Yes, yes, a
at
box of
San
mac and
Diego,
cheese, yes.
I will say at San Diego Comic-Con, I did see the boxes of Cheddar Goblin.
Oh, man.
Well, did you see the boxes in the guy's trailer when he
Yep.
went to get his crossbow?
Yeah.
They were
I saw
in there,
that.
yeah.
Because they were
I really hope
That's a
when it's released
Tarantino
on
kind of
DVD,
thing of
it's
having your
separate
product,
short.
like
Yeah.
in your movie, you know,
Yeah.
like those
I'm sorry,
apples, cigarettes. And
Yes, the cigarettes, again, also purposeful. What we...
But he was saying,
Go ahead.
I was just hoping when it's released on DVD, it's like a separate short. We can watch that whole scene individually.
That's
That'd be
great.
nice.
So, I can tell you one thing. Their extended cuts for DVD release are pretty awesome. You get so much more than you ever get in the film release.
Do we know when we're getting a DVD release?
Already screening. Look at that. Hey, did I not tell you they like the film? They're ready for the DVD people. Come on.
I thought I saw that on
You know what, Legion? Have you heard that question? Send me an answer. Say in the page, and I will tell you when I know it.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, like you know, I didn't see.
I'm pretty sure I saw
can't
it.
tell you.
And the official release is already done.
Tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Technically,
Feels
tomorrow
special.
is the official release date of the film. It was really pretty cool. If you guys get on the page, you're gonna see I have a little excerpt from the premiere that they live streamed to the Legion M members. Because I am a Legion M member and an investor, as a disclaimer, so you understand. I started out as a fan a year and a half ago at a Stan Lee panel, and here I am a year and a half later, where I am today. So thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity to host another Legion M official premiere for the amazing. Listen, I watched the whole movie, if that tells you anything. And you know, Terry, that I said I wasn't going to do that, but I didn't. So, any last minutes? We'll do a rapid fire from this way going.
Go see the movie, challenge yourself. If it doesn't look like something that will appeal to you, take a chance on this one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Indeed.
I'll say, if you're a cult movie fan, definitely watch this. This is made by a guy who has a huge love of cult movies, horror, action, surrealism. Definitely check it out. I had an absolute blast. It's great.
Mr. Quiet.
I agree with what he said. If you want to take a chance, even if it doesn't look like something for you, go out and see it and give it a shot.
Yeah, everybody said?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what I expected. I honestly just came to this kind of last minute. I'm like, Mandy, Nicolas Cage. I like Nicolas Cage, but I was really pleasantly surprised. It was awesome. Yeah.
I am happy for that.
Yeah.
It's one of the strangest and most unusual movies of the year. Check it out. It's worth it.
I was gonna say, definitely gonna see this again. Trippiest movie 2018 so far. So
Great.
Honestly, like one of my absolute favorite films this year, like hands down.
This year, is it going to go higher than this year?
We shall see.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely buying it when it comes out on DVD.
Yes. What do you think?
If you're a horror fan, Nick Cage fan, fan of like 80s style films, please don't sleep on this one. Don't let this film be like a tragedy that you'll eventually find on Netflix. Watch this film when it's out right now, please. You will not regret
Definitely
it.
a theater experience
more
too.
like
It is a theater experience.
Yeah, theater
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's something that you have to see because of the sound perspective and the visual perspective, which really, the expansiveness of seeing it on the screen is what does it justice, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Puts you right
I
there.
think unless you have an amazing TV, it's going to be a little hard to get the whole experience, so please try and get to see it in theaters.
I would basically say what everyone said. Out of all the stuff in which we said, if that's your cup of tea, see it.
Even if it's not.
Bring
see
the
it.
kids too. Teach them about the dangers of drug use.
Right? Educational.
So let's have that
But-
discussion another
Wait.
time.
The film already makes you feel like you're on drugs. If you see it while you're on drugs, you're not going to have a good time.
That's
It's going to be really bad.
So I definitely want to just have a disclaimer. We're not advocating drug use. We're not advocating LSD.
Neither's the movie.
What
But we
this-
are advocating macaroni and cheese.
We're not advocating macaroni and cheese.
Cheddar Bob.
And we're explaining to you that periodically, there were things that happened back in the 70s that were not great, very difficult, and this movie is referencing some historical incidents. And I'm going to go look up a little bit more about it now. And this is not my style of film, and to me, it is now. The shooting of this film, the color, the sound, it has really completely changed my perspective. Good, because I'm a very empathetic film goer, so it's very difficult to watch horror for me. But I managed this film and sat there and all I could do was feel empathy and sympathy the entire time. And being a family practice and psychiatry specialist, I sat there analyzing the whole film. So don't put up in the whole thing. So that's my perspective. Why don't you guys give us your names and then we'll do a shout out to Mandy and Lee to them really quick.
Okay, my name is Richard, and I'll just move on.
Chris.
Anthony.
Kessler.
Paul.
Molly.
Jeremiah.
David.
Jeff.
And it's Nisha, and that's Louis behind the camera. And on 3, we're going to say Mandy. 1, 2, 3.
Mandy!